A lot of the furniture that's sold today unfortunately doesn't have that sort of timeless quality to it. Because corners were cut, because things were done as inexpensively as possible, we've taken a completely different approach. We spend a lot of time thinking about how to make the product better.
We do not cut corners here at Smith Brothers. We seek out the best quality product. We have the best suppliers, we have the best componentry, very much a craft rather than just an assembly process as you would typically think of in a manufacturing environment. We want to ensure that our retailers and their end consumers have the best seat experience possible. Our seat foam is the absolute best foam that you can purchase out there. We have 3 separate independent spring units that are mounted into a sofa. It's very comparable to the independent suspension on a vehicle. Each person will have their own independent suspension, so to speak. You won't find yourself falling into your neighbor that's sitting next to you on that Smith Brothers sofa.
We use a solid maple lumber frame, and that lumber is kiln dried. The kiln drying helps to make the wood more stable, and it reduces moisture so that the wood is less likely to warp.
The brackets that we utilize provides side load strength from side to side. When you sit down, you lean on an arm. The one thing you'll notice about a Smith Brothers piece of furniture is you won't get that flex that you would get in a typical overseas brand. Our rear legs are actually part of the frame. Those are not an afterthought. They're not placed on as a separate component. They are actually structured and built directly into the frame. We have a double dowel joint. It's glued. It's also screwed. It's stapled.
When you walk up to a piece of furniture, if the pattern is kind of jumbled and doesn't match, that gives you a sense already of how well was this piece of furniture built. Flow matching is when you have a pattern in your fabric that you want to match as you look going down the sofa. So from the back cushions to the seat cushions down to the base, you want to have a nice continuous flow. When you see that it's this perfect match and the pattern just naturally flows, it feeds into that whole consistency and the pride that we have in our furniture.
We utilize testing of all of our fabrics and leathers. Take a weighted wheel and we will drop it on either side of a seam being 7 stitches per inch. We will drop that wheel 5,000 times per side, and our attempt is to stress that fabric to the point of failure. If the seam does fail, we'll place a bead of hot glue through the seam, and that then strengthens the seam and provides the integrity for that seam to last a lifetime.
I think the reason that it's so important as to why Smith Brothers put so much work and effort and pride into their furniture is that in the end, we want our retailers and also the end consumer to be proud of their own piece of furniture. If we build it with a sense of pride, they can sell it with a sense of pride, and then ultimately the end consumer can enjoy it and be proud.